What up, YouTube? Knowledge of self-determination. So, Patrick Patterson. I know most of you guys have heard about this situation, heard about this particular issue. And of course, the black community is jumping all on this dude's helmet for what he said. Everybody's taking the situation out of context, I believe. And I'll explain why I believe people are taking the situation out of context. You know, somebody repeated what he said out of context. Now everybody's on this dude's helmet. He issued an apology for what he said, basically saying, he didn't mean for it what he said to be taken that way. This dude was having a conversation with another individual, and from what it sounded like, these dudes were kind of joning on each other's women. He said he felt like homeboy had insulted his wife, so he issued an insult back to his wife and said, I was supposed to marry your bulldog, blah, blah, blah. He was referring to that dude's wife as a bulldog. Now, I believe the woman referring to just so happened to have been a black woman. But the thing is, the dude didn't say what I was supposed to marry a black bulldog like you. Or he didn't say that all black women were bulldogs. He called a specific woman a bulldog. Now, every black woman who feels like they're insulted by this are attacking this dude, and black men are attacking him. Even some black people who didn't even get the conversation in context of going at this dude. And what I want to say is this, black people. We show our hand every time a situation like this arises, because the first thing we do is we let our baby feelings get the best of us, and we start boo-hooing on the fucking internet. Oh my gosh, he said this, he said that, he's a black NBA player with a... Yes, he is a fucking NBA cliche. He's a tall black dude playing in Major League Sports, playing in fucking the NBA, and yes, he has a white woman. He is a living, walking, talking, breathing cliche, without a doubt. Without a doubt. And it is kind of an epidemic within, the black community with our athletes, that they seem to go for those white chicks. You know what I'm saying? There's a template for the type of women that these dudes get. All these broads look the same. And this is what I mean. Like, most of these white broads get your hair extensions and weaves. We know white women get that shit too. Let's not be fucking. Come on. Come on. Let's go. Let's keep it 100. She looked like she's had some physical work done. You know what I'm saying? Some face work, some facial work done. She looked like she gets tans regularly. And that seems to be the type that they go for. White chicks that want to come off and like they if she wasn't white and all you saw was the frame of her body, you think she was black. I'm gonna just say that seems to be the standard model, not model as a supermodel, but just model, like addition, like template for these dudes. Yes, he is. Yeah, okay, granted, Patrick Patterson, he's one of those dudes. He's followed suit like all the rest of them. Sure. And we can give him shit for that. But what I want to ask black women is this. When are you all going to take accountability for why relations between black men and black women are so full of turmoil? Because it can't all just be black men. It takes two to tango. And the last time I checked, black men weren't the only motherfuckers on the dance floor. You understand what I'm saying? We're not the only ones. I'm not making any excuses for any black man, any deadbeat dude out there. But women talk about... Now here's the thing. Here's the thing. Women will talk about the string of deadbeat loser dudes they've dated, right? They will always... this dude wasn't shit. He wasn't shit. He didn't do this and he couldn't do that. But before you let him fuck you, did you not know that he was already that guy? Before you let him fuck you, right? And how many times did he actually get a chance to sleep with you before you realized it? Because let's fucking face it. Let's keep it 100. Because in my younger day, I was a young bum motherfucker trying to play the streets thinking I was a player and shit. And if you laying pipe right, you can lay up with a different broad every fucking night. Real talk. If you laying that shit right, women will ignore your bum status if you making them come on a regular basis. I mean, let's keep it 100, man. Seriously, every issue between black men and black women are not the black men's fault. I mean, let's keep it 100. You know, a lot of fathers were going to prison in the 80s, the late 80s and 90s. A lot of black men, thanks to Joe Biden, George Bush Sr., and Bill Clinton. The Nixon crime bill that they added on to made life very, very difficult for us. Oh, for fuck's sake. Sorry about that, guys. I just got a fucking text. Fucking car still in the shop. The car was supposed to be fucking ready Tuesday. Bro, I got my own business. I got deliveries, orders and shit. Anyway, let me continue forward. Every situation within a black relationship is not always the black man. Like for instance, and again, not making excuses. So in the streets, our numbers are heavily decreased because of the war that has been waged on black men and blackness itself, right? We are at war. They're weakening our ranks by keeping our men off the streets and feminizing their asses, right? So a lot of sisters had to buckle down and take on the burden of raising their sons by themselves because the men weren't around for various reasons, but mostly because they were being incarcerated for petty bullshit. But you get locked up with a half a bag of fucking, you get locked up with a half a gram of weed, you could do a year and a half in jail. You could do 18 months on that shit, especially on the East Coast. In the 90s, come on, man. I knew dudes who were doing 3 months for clips, for little pieces of blunts and shit. But in any event, so the men that exist now in the 21st century, it's 2019. I don't know how old Patrick Patterson is, but if he's 30 years old, he was born in the mid-90s. You understand what I'm saying? So he was born probably to a father who was arrested as soon as they conceived him. I don't know his story. I'm just saying. But this is what I'm saying. You women raise these dudes that you're complaining about now in the 21st century. If women want a better class of men, now I'm not just hanging this all on the women, but a lot of you women are raising sons, and here's the ironic thing: you're raising your sons to be the type of dude that you would want to date, but the rest of the broads out here don't want to date a dude like that. So we end up with a bunch of dudes in a generation who are overly feminized and who hate their mamas and want to date outside of their race because their mother was not a fucking good model of what a woman should be. Understand that shit. There is another aspect, another side to this story. You understand? There is another side to this. So black women need to ask themselves, what have you done to contribute to why the men in your race that you raise turn around and don't want somebody that looks like you? What have you all done to men? What kind of trauma have you delivered upon the young men and boys in your community that makes them want to turn to another race? That makes them look at black women and say, yeah, I'm not wifing that. What have you done? Yes, black men have a lot to answer for, a lot to answer to. And in my opinion, so do black women. So before we all jump on the bandwagon to crucify another brother who's not married to a sister, we need to ask, why the fuck are so many black men not choosing black women? It's not just the black man's fault. It's not just the black man's fault. Because some of the women in our community are fucked up. Let's face it. Example, when I go, I know I have somebody who I know who is a lesbian. You know, I never treated her or looked at her any different. She's a lesbian, cool, whatever, blah, blah, blah. She's dating a female that has 5 children, and every time this chick cheats on her, she cheats on her with dick. I'm gonna end the video right there. Holla at me, let me know what y'all think. Peace.